And now for the starters for your ELAC Huskies. Starting at guard, a 6'3" sophomore from Los Angeles, California, number 2, Noel Scott. At guard, a 6'2" sophomore from Detroit, Michigan, number 10, John Sanders. At guard, a 6'5" sophomore from Stevenson's Ranch, number 11, Corey Cofield. At forward, a 6'8" sophomore from Pasadena, California, number 20, J.T. Langston. And at guard forward, a 6'5" sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada, number 24, Tyrell Hunt. With assistants Frankie Aguilar, Emmanuel Brown, Kenneth Hunter, and Levi Wenrich. The head coach for the Huskies in his 11th season is John Mosley. Let's play some basketball.
Thankful and grateful you could join us. It's another installment of Huskies Basketball live and direct on SportsNetUSA.net. Dan Gudino alongside ELAC legend, women's basketball head coach Bruce Turner. It's round 2 of the SoCal Regional. Win, advance, lose, and go home.
Yeah, it's just exciting for me just to be here in this atmosphere. Huskies have been peaking, so I think they'll turn out with a great effort tonight.
Langston and Ward will jump for it. Round 2 fight, Tyrell Hunt of East LA will give it back to John Sanders, who will conduct the offense. Riverside comes in on a 2-game win streak with a 17-12 record. John Sanders to Cofield. Cofield angles in, clutches and gets it off the square. Huskies will open up the scoreboard 2-0, just underway inside Arena.
Great opening possession there. Execution. Coach Joe Mosley's got to sit back now and take a deep breath. They look locked in.
Mofat gets the ball stripped. Ball in the air. Last touch by... No signal yet. Last touch by the Huskies. RCC will inbound in front of the Husky bench. 9 seconds on the ticker, 19:15 to go on the game clock. So the Huskies were crowned for a 7th straight time the champions of the SEC North. RCC, they finished 4th within the Orange Empire Conference. That one short. Here's Sanders. Huskies taking their time on offense. That's Cofield. Scott. To the elbow to Hunt. Hunt skips it near side. Back out to Hunt. Hunt will drive. Lots of contact, and it's a turnover against East LA. Shot clock violation there.
A lot of contact on both drives. Referee decided to let them play.
Huskies, they come in with a 24-3 record, undefeated in conference. And currently on a 9-game win streak, but whatever happened during the regular season, throw it out the window. It don't matter.
Right, new season. Everybody's made their adjustments, and they played so early. Both teams have improved immensely.
That's Ward. He'll lift for 3. Off the mark. Cofield rebound. 18-10 on the clock. Here's Scott. There's J.T. Langston, who was just named Player of the Year within the SEC North. John Sanders was also named to the first team All-Conference. Sanders drives, lots of contact. Falls on his bottom at the 17:49 mark, 2-0 still.
Excellent take by Sanders. A little hesitation at the elbow and stepped on the gas, drew the contact at the line for 2. Riverside is playing excellent defense. They've made the Huskies exhaust the shot clock on all 3 possessions.
Sanders off on the first one. He was impressive during conference play from the line. He was shooting over 90%.
That's what you want out of your point guard. You know, they have the ball so much. In crunch time, when you foul them, they're able to put the game away.
Off the back iron and a rebound by Ward. Into the front court, Cortland Moffat. To the elbow to Monroe. Monroe, far side. 17:30 on the clock. 3-point shot gives RCC the lead. Ball goes out of bounds.
Kind of a missed assignment there. It looked like both guys wanted to cover the 3, and they both stopped. Little communication on defense.
Cofield will trigger to Hunt. Hunt fakes, will rise. Short, Cofield with the board. He's been doing that all season long, Coach.
Mr. Offensive Rebound. He'll get you about 5 possessions a game.
Langston at the elbow. Squares up to the corner. That's Sanders. Sanders will rise from the elbow.
Beauty.
The D1 commit to Coastal Carolina gives back East LA the lead.
Like the patience of JT there. They want to get him involved, but he's patient enough to set the screen and allow Davis to get the jumper.
Ward goes to Lyndon Paul. Paul puts it on the floor left hand, guarded by Langston. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 16:33 to go. Near steal, yeah, they do get it. No, loose ball, bodies on the floor. Riverside will have to put it up. Shot clock violation against the Tigers.
Outstanding defense. Bodies on the floor. Oh, man, the intensity is high.
RCC will call timeout at the 16:23 mark. Huskies 4. RCC 3 will stay on the clock. Home court advantage definitely plays a factor when you come into Arena. The Huskies, in the Coach John Mosley era, 87% of the time they win here on this floor.
Yeah.
Last time they lost here during the regular season, we have to go back to the 2017-18 season. Last time they lost in the playoffs was to Santa Monica. That was in 2018. So it's been a while since the Huskies have let go of one. So the road to state runs through Monterey Park.
Yes. You know, they've done a great job protecting it all year, 8-0 in conference. Of course, they haven't lost at home this year, but that puts another level of down into the opponent's head when they come in, knowing they have to break all those streaks.
It'll be Husky basketball out of the timeout. There's Sanders to Cofield. Coach, what was that timeout about by Phil Matthews?
Well, on offense, he was yelling at his wings. He was inside the three-point line. It wasn't allowing enough spacing for his offense to be ran. So he was trying to space the offense, which that's how the Huskies came up with the steal, because they shot the gap because the spacing was so bad.
Looks like the Huskies are making it a point to make it a box game inside the paint.
Yeah.
The majority of their offense comes from inside the paint.
Well, this is going to be a match because Riverside is built similar. I think JT has the only real advantage, although Ward is a first-team all-teamer in the Orange Empire. Great help defense. Offensive foul.
Another turnover against RCC early on. With less than 5 minutes into this one, that's the 4th turnover against the Tigers.
Cofield came all the way from the corner to get outside the arc to take that charge. There's great anticipation on defense.
Sanders goes around the screen. Sanders for 3. Gets the spin at the rim. and bombs the three. 15:35 to go, 8-3 Huskies.
The old case of giving what the defense takes you. Taking what the defense gives you. You know, they went under the screen. He stepped back, pops the three.
Currently with the ball is Jalen Monroe. Over to Mofat. Mofat short. Cofield rebound. That's his third rebound of this contest. Here's Sanders. Crossover move. Loses the dribble though. JT Langston will rise from the free throw area. Short on that attempt. Rebound Ward. The other way, RCC attacks under 15 to go. First half. Thankful and grateful you could join us here on the home of the Huskies. SportsNetUSA.net. Ward spins. He's in the paint. Loses the dribble. Recovers. Gets stripped. Hunt defends well and grabs it. Sanders the other way.
Great help deep.
Oh, lobs it up. Cofield flush.
Great alley-oop pass by Sanders. Boy, what a great transition. Hunt with the block on one end. Sanders gets out in transition, finds Cofield on the baseline for the finish.
That's what you want from your point guard. Here's Ward.
Nice touch. Big fella shooting from three.
On the clock, 14:10 to go. Hunt fakes. Fakes again. That's Scott. He'll dribble out of the corner.
Oh.
Good defense by RCC, but as we always say here, Zebras always know best.
Well, they were supposed to allow you to touch and measure up one time, but he put hands on Scott on both crossovers. So the whistle came.
Demetrius Caleb checks in. He was named to the all-conference team within the SEC North. And Gregory Melvin checks in for the Huskies. He was also named to the second team all-conference squad within the SEC North. 14:01 on the clock, 10-5 ball game. Huskies in the lead. Cofield will trigger to the corner of Langston. Down low to Melvin, back outside of Cofield. Here's Sanders now, looks back at Mosley. Mosley barks into play. The Huskies sled on the road to state. Here's Caleb throwing it up and one.
Wow. Absolutely great finish. He was thinking about passing the ball after he got fouled, but he heard the whistle and changed to his right hand and shot a little teardrop in the lane.
Offhand, by the way, he's a lefty.
Right.
And what he did so well this season was behind the arc. His shooting, he was #1 in the SEC North in three-point shooting, shooting 46% from behind the arc. So the Huskies lead 12-5 with 13:46 to go. DC was not able to make the old-fashioned three-point play. Here are the Huskies with a formidable lead and still playing aggressive, applying the press here. With the basketball is Bryce Hall. Over to Ward. Ward angle drive, loses the dribble. Melvin will be credited with the steal. On the clock, 13:25 to go.
They really squeeze in Ward. They won't let him have any room once he decides to put it on the floor.
Sanders called for an offensive charge there. He dropped Jalen Moore on his bottom. Turnover against the Huskies. Just the second turnover this ball game early on for the Huskies. Don J. Lindsay will check in for East LA as John Sanders will check out for East LA. Clock reads 13 minutes, 16 seconds. Huskies coming out really aggressive, Coach, applying a press.
Yeah, and I still haven't really seen Riverside get into their offense. You can't even recognize what they're doing because Huskies are taking away their first option, which has kind of scrambled them. Here Ward is out at the top of the, almost at the half-court circle.
Here's Jalen Monroe, angle drive and a foul. Foul before the shot. Foul against Lindsay. 12:55 to go. First half.
Didn't like that one at all, as physical as things have gone.
So both teams faced each other in December. at the Riverside Holiday Tournament. The shot by Monroe is good. 12-7 ball game, 12:44 to go. As we mentioned, they faced each other at the Holiday Tournament. An 83-72 victory for East LA back at Riverside. This is the first time in the John Mosley era that RCC has played here at Arena. Lindsay from the free throw area.
Beautiful little DHO dribble handoff from JT as Lindsay comes around on the left side, pulls up at the elbow, all net.
Driving in as Monroe gets called for walking. Hop, step, and then some, huh?
He saw JT coming over, getting ready to wall up, shuffle the feet.
He is a threat, JT. JT with 50 blocks this season, ranking him number 14 in the state.
Yeah. And, you know, blocks are great, but coaches love the intimidation. They love missed shots off those blocks, because a lot of blocks go out of bounds, but that turnover is more important.
Here's Caleb for three. High off the rim. Ward rebound for RCC. Under 12 minutes now.
And I think part of Coach Mosley's purpose to pick them up the entire time. They had a very tough game Wednesday night. So we should be able to wear them down.
On the drive, count it. That's Lyndon Paul.
First time tonight the weak side help was not there. Hall came all the way from the right wing, down the lane. Nobody contested him. Drew the foul. Nice little left hand touch shot off the glass.
Gregory Melvin was charged there. That's the third team foul against the Huskies. Paul good at the free throw line. So now a 14-10 ball game. RCC not letting up in this one. That's Lindsay on top to DC. DC nearly losing the dribble, nearly falling down. This time he will lose the dribble.
A little bit excited about driving that.
Another walk against RCC. That was Darius McLean shuffling his feet.
Coach Frankie Aguilar told DC to slow down, and he nodded in agreement.
There's Lindsay for East LA at the 11:15 mark. Pushes it to DC. DC taking his time, goes to the elbow to Hunt. We got a whistle.
Wow.
11:05 on the clock now.
You know, the first 4 minutes, we had, I think, only 2 team fouls. Now the whistle is sounding with regularity.
The Stripes always get involved. Lyndon Paul was called for the previous foul. Husky basketball in the front court.
A little danger time now. They've taken Ward out for a rest.
That's Hunt at the baseline. Step back. Too strong there. Rebound. Julian Alvarez of RCC. 10:55 to go, first half. Thankful and grateful you could join us here on SportsNetUSA.net, the home of the Huskies.
Coach Matthews hauls out spread.
Hall, deep three, gets a friendly roll.
It's not what he wanted, but he'll take the three.
24-footer, cuts it to a 1-point deficit. Scott will launch one of his own.
So smooth, under control all the time. Beautiful.
You mentioned earlier in this season, Scott's game kind of reminds you of Luka Doncic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's so under control. He almost looked like you're watching a game in slow motion.
Ball last touched by East LA. Noah Alvarez was trying to get it, or Bryce Hall was trying to get it over to Julian Alvarez. Noah Alvarez is our cameraman tonight, by the way.
Nice.
Here's Bryce Hall with 10 minutes to go and 6 seconds on the ticker. They go far side of Monroe. Monroe's going to have to hurry here. To the baseline, out of bounds, another turnover against RCC.
That's what the pressure does. A little misread there. Actually, he went back door and hesitated. And that threw the pass off from Tommy.
Here's Lindsay to the elbow to Melvin. Melvin squares up, goes to work. Spinning
step.
left hand and one. Off the square, finesse.
Great footwork. Took him into the lane, pivoted back out, extended with the left arm, and just kissed it off the rim. Not much of a foul. Coach Matthews is upset, asking where the foul was. I kind of agree with him.
Melvin showing you why he got an honorable mention, making the second team all-conference in the SCC North. And he's been really reliable. He's been able to insert himself into the starting lineup for a few games as JT Langston went out for an injury during the season. He was a good fill-in. Here's Hawkins, too strong on the layup. 9:25 to go. Here go the Huskies. DC fakes, will drive, step back. No, too strong there. Rebound, Monroe.
A little bit indecisive there.
Monroe guarded against Hunt. Good defense by the Huskies.
Great help.
Here comes the Husky help, and a whistle is blown on the right side. 9:01 to go. Huskies 19, RCC 13.
See what Riverside is trying to do. Coach Matthews has said 5 out, so what they do is 5 out, and then they'll bring the big up to set the high screen to try to get down the lane. Hope that Husky is late. The last 3 or 4 possessions, they've been late.
John Sanders and Corey Cofield will check in for East LA as Lindsay and Caleb will take a seat.
I think Riverside is only 5 for 6 from the line.
Reminder, this broadcast brought to you by NutriShop of Monterey Park, your sports nutrition, weight loss, health, and vitamin experts. Monroe off, but a second opportunity for the Tigers. Adedesi with a rebound and a whistle now. We'll see what the call is.
Foul charge to the Huskies, number 24.
Terrell Hunt was charged there.
His first personal
8:55 remains in this first half.
15 foul. Riverside basketball.
Already in the 1-1. Huskies already in the bonus.
Dondre Bowsley checks in for Jalen Monroe. Here's Ward. Gets it over to Adedesi. 8:45 to go. Ward. Poor entry pass. Melvin will launch it. Melvin will get it. Three-pointer good.
Great find by Davis on a kind of delayed break. Everybody got back and eyes up, skipped it to Melvin. Melvin in line drive fashion knocks down the 3.
8:28 to go. Huskies 22, RCC 14. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Back inside Arena, the campus of East Los Angeles College. Thankful and grateful you could join us. Dan Gudino alongside women's head coach of East LA basketball, Bruce Turner.
Wow. You know, the Huskies started out very quickly, and Riverside has fought back in this game by attacking the rim and making a bunch of and-ones. And the Huskies are 1 for 6 from the free throw line. And Riverside's 2 for 3.
8:28 remains in the first half as the Huskies' journey on this road to state continues. Snow fell in parts of Southern California, but the Huskies sled still on track, right?
That accounts for the poor.
Bryce Hall good on the drive there.
Slow shooting night.
Under 8 minutes now.
But it didn't deter the crowd from coming out. A great crowd here.
Nearly sold out. I think there's still a few seats here.
Yeah.
Melvin from the elbow splashes that one home.
Well, he's a tough matchup. Great first step. And that he improves that jumper. He's going to be tough to handle. He's doing well already.
A steal by Sanders. Sanders read it like a cornerback there. Got a whistle in the backcourt. Whistle on Raymond Hawkins. Maybe a little bit of frustration there, a frustration foul, huh?
Yeah, that's not where you want your 6'9" guy to pick up his fouls in the backcourt. Yeah, I thought he's frustrated that they're not getting the ball to him. He's had pretty good position the last 3 or 4 times he posted, but they missed him. Frustration with his teammates.
That's the 8th team foul against RCC. Hawkins will sit out.
Sanders at the line for the Huskies, shooting 1-1.
Dondre Blousey will check in for Hawkins. Sanders good on the first.
Sanders has kind of been carrying them tonight. Very low key, under control, great pace.
Sanders good on both of them. 7:32 to go. Into the front court is Hall. 3-point shot by Adejesi, no good, but Ward there to clean it up.
Great work by Ward staying with the play. 3 Huskies went out to challenge the shot, so they had numbers on the offensive board.
Scott from the wing to the lane, tries to reverse it. He's on the floor saying, where's my call? 6:55 to go.
That was an outstanding attempt.
Here's Hall against Cofield. 6:45 to go. Ward behind the arc, over to Monroe. RCC taking their time, or is it just the defense of the Huskies? 3 seconds to go. Got a whistle, and one doesn't count. No foul on the floor, no shot.
I really didn't like the foul call because he went up to challenge the shot, and the guy drives into his legs. But Noel fouls.
Fans continue to trickle in, and it's looking like it's going to be only standing room from now on. Hottest ticket in SoCal here inside the E Arena. Watch out, Clippers and Lakers, right?
That's right. Got a 3rd team in LA, baby.
Road to State continues here this evening, round 2 of the SoCal Regional. A little bit of a discussion going on between officials and the coaching crew of the Huskies. Noel Scott will be charged with the foul. That's the 6th foul against East LA. We're at the 6:30 mark if you're just joining us.
The referees are having a hard time deciding who the foul is upon.
That's Monroe against Melvin. Melvin getting a hand check there. He's charged. That'll be the 17th foul.
Wow. A lot of touch fouls. Players are going to have to adjust because at this rate, we'll have 40 free throw shot.
Offensively, that could be a good thing, right? I mean, you instantly want to attack the rim, right?
Yeah, because then what it makes you do is back off, and now the jump shot is open. The pressure defensive teams don't appreciate that. They want to get up and put hands on you.
There's Sanders with the loose ball and a board. 6:20 to go. Sanders behind his back, between his legs. Over to Cofield. Cofield looking on top to Scott. Scott to the corner to a wide open Sanders.
Nothing but net is raining outside, and Sanders is raining threes inside.
I believe that was a three.
Whoa. Little discussion on the sideline. The ball went out of bounds off of Riverside. One referee gave it to the Huskies. Now they've changed the call. One referee gave it to Riverside Tigers. Now they've changed the call.
So the Husky pressure working here. I believe that's 6 turnovers.
Did he give it to me? He's
.5:55 to go. We've got an official stoppage here. An adjustment to the shot clock.
change of possession, wasn't it?
Should be 30 seconds.
Should be a
but what do we
30-second
know?
clock because,
Cofield inbound steal the other way. Here's Monroe going behind his back. Good play there, and he's fouled by Hunt.
Oh, what a hustle play, Monroe. He's laying it out on the line. Great play, head and shoulder, head fake, got Langston up in there, and he jumped in and drew the contact. That was a weird exchange. Had some possession disputes, clocks disputes, but Monroe said, let me have the ball. He's going to the hole.
5:48 to go. Husky faithful getting loud here. A lot of Riverside fans have traveled despite the snow and the IE.
Flushed them out.
Flushed them out is right. Sliding in to Monterey Park. We'll see if RCC could slip away with the victory here and upset the Huskies. In and out, second opportunity possibly. No, ball goes out of bounds. Langston grimacing in pain, holding his head.
I think he got hit with an elbow of Monroe on the way down. Offensive rebound off the free throw lane. He mistimed his jump. Monroe went up and got the ball, and the way down, I think he hit Langston on top of the crown of his head.
We'll step aside for an injury timeout. 5:46 to go. 10-point lead for the Huskies. 29-19 over RCC. Back inside the friendly confines of the arena, Dan Gudino alongside Coach Bruce Turner. Floor's being wiped down right now after JT Langston was grimacing in pain for a bit. We'll hope he's all good.
I think he drew blood. They're out using the solution to get the blood off the floor. So certainly hope he's okay. He's yet to really make his presence felt in the game. And he's a big part of what they do, defensively especially.
All right, here we go. Langston will step off as I believe Noel Scott was inserted for him now. So on the floor for the Huskies, Gregory Melvin, who checks in the ball to Scott, Hunt, Sanders, and Cofield. Scott to Cofield on the right wing. 5:35 to go. 10-point lead for East LA. Melvin at the elbow. Puts it on the floor once, hands off to Sanders. Sanders will rise and whips the net there. 31-19, Huskies pulling away slowly.
But that little curl at the elbow is a beautiful play. They run that to perfection. And Sanders is pitching a perfect game. 5 for 5 from the floor, and man, 2 for 2 from three-point country.
Showing us why he's D1 quality.
Oh, yeah.
5:12 remains as Demetrius Caleb will check in for Hunt. Christian Oliver, the big man, will check in for Greg Melvin.
Coach Mosley's going almost 10 deep early in the half. I think he feels like he's going to need these guys because of the foul. 9 fouls already. And JT, we don't know his status.
First of the 1-and-1 good by Monroe. Monroe at the line this year, 63%, as he's averaging 7 points per game.
You know, by the stat, you would think Ward is the guy, but Monroe has led the team most of this first half. If both of those guys get going, we're in trouble.
Coach Mosley elects to call timeout at the 5:12 mark with the Huskies with a 10-point lead. We'll stay on the air here. Road to State continues. On Wednesday, 48 teams enter the playoffs.
Yeah, I like more teams being involved because it gives everybody a little extra to play for those last 2 weeks of the season. A lot of times teams feel like they're out of it, but sometimes sneak in that last 20 spots 23 and 4.
If the Huskies end up winning tonight, they'll take on the winner of tonight's LA Harbor versus Mount San Jacinto. That's an interesting game. Here's why. LA Harbor beat East LA during the regular season, but that was back at LA Harbor. Here's Christian Oliver. He's called for a walk.
Yeah. Actually, he shuffled a couple of times. The Harbor ELAC rematch would be something because JT missed that game. I think 2 or 3 guys were out for that contest.
Loose ball saved by Ward to the corner. 4:40 left. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Alvarez driving. Rejected by Oliver.
Big fella.
Scott nearly losing the dribble. Cofield attacks straight to the cup. Through the contact, grabs his own. Loose ball. Oliver back out. Scott for 3. Caleb trying to get it. Loose ball being fought for. Playoff basketball.
Love the effort. Love the effort.
Ward attacks. Oliver nearly getting another block. Not the case. He will be charged for a foul. 4:05 to go, first half. 31 for the Huskies, 21 for the Riverside Tigers.
Intensity has picked up. That's exactly what Coach Mosley wants, the activity on the offensive board. He just wished someone would finish it. But Cofield went in there hard. Caleb, great efforts. And the big guy made a great block. I thought he got a little ticky-tack call on him.
Ward short on both attempts. Loose ball. Last touch by RCC. Ward, who was just at the line, is the leading scorer for RCC, averaging 13 points per game. 4 minutes to go. That's Caleb. DC to Scott. Scott spinning. Scott driving, muscles it in.
This guy's a magician with the ball. He can always find a way to get the ball to the rim or make a great pass for his teammates. Kind of like a little point forward.
Alvarez to Ward. Now to Hall. Hall between his legs. Step back 3, 25-footer. Splashes home.
That was a great shot. Defense was good, just a better shot.
Sanders with the crossover, short on the layup, but he was fouled. What a play by Sanders.
Yeah, man, I don't know who was guarding him. They didn't see him go by, they just heard him. And when he got down the lane, a little tap on the arm prevented the teardrop from going in. Well, he's brought his A game tonight.
3:19 left. Huskies with a 9-point lead. Make it 10.
Into the game for Riverside, number 2, Darius McLean.
Still a few more seats left. Not officially a sold-out crowd. We won't announce it just yet. As Sanders gives the Huskies an 11-point lead.
It's good news. Here comes JT to report the scorer's table.
No Band-Aid on him anywhere, as far as I can see.
No.
McLean with the basketball, guarded by Scott. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 2:55 to go, game clock. Ward losing the dribble. He's practically at half court. They'll have to hurry. Launching a three, short. Alvarez board. Foul on the right side. That'll be against East LA's John Sanders. That's the 11th team foul against East LA. So fouls might become an issue in the second half, huh?
Yeah. And, you know, the other part about the spread offense is kind of like a zone. When you're so far away from the paint, it's very hard to block out. Riverside is taking advantage of many offensive rebounds as the Huskies run out to challenge.
Player of the year in the SCC North, JT Langston checks in for Christian Oliver. Don J. Lindsay will check in for John Sanders. 2:45 left. Alvarez makes it a 10-point ball game. 2:40 left.
It's time to get JT involved in the game.
No hesitation by Caleb. Grabs his own, throws it up, almost gets the and one, falling on his wallet with 2:32 to go. Now put him at the stripe.
He's the one guy that needs an ice bath after every game. Kind of small in stature, but he takes a lot of contact and he plays through it. You know, he's really not looking to flop. He's trying to make an outstanding shot.
DC definitely a highlight reel.
Absolutely. Huskies got to bear down to make these free throws. He's 3 for 8 and counting. DC stops the run with a nice make.
36-25 ball game. Huskies in the lead. Coach Mosley and the Huskies entering the playoffs for the 10th straight year.
Go!
Cofield falling hard as Raymond Hawkins of RCC's fouled.
Very dangerous situation there. Riverside player pump fake. Corey Cofield went for the fake and kind of upended, fell on his right hip. Very hard foul, but he got up. Looks like he's shaking it off. He told Coach Mosley, I don't need a sub.
Substitution for the Huskies into the game number 24, Tyrell Hunt.
Mosley sends Hunt in for him just to make sure everything's okay.
The big man, Hawkins, chopping wood at the score. 8-point ball game now, RCC trailing. Lindsay floats it up high off the glass.
Dude, that was a very strong play. He got ridden off just at the end of that shot, but he stayed with it.
Scott getting aggressive there against Alvarez.
Yeah, he had the bobble. He thought he would be able to poke it away and get the easy bucket, but caught a little too much arm on the reach.
1:55 left first half. You get the sense that Coach Mosley might have to dig deep into that bench because of all the fouls early on in this first half.
Yeah. Well, the Huskies are so used to putting that pressure and containing groups. When they're so spread out like that, it's so much different. It makes you, it makes you cover so much more ground, so you're just a half step late on everything.
Line violation against RCC.
Riverside Husky basketball.
Here come the Huskies.
Referee just warned Coach Matthews that any more talking, he's going to assess technical fouls to both teams. They're tired of all the chatter.
There's Lindsay. Over to Langston. Langston trying to tomahawk it. Woo. Glad he's okay.
That would have been special. He took off from the right corner with mean intentions, and Hawkins met him at the summit. And 2 shots for the big fella. Maybe this will get him going.
Look out below. 1:39 to go. Langston at the charity stripe. Whips the first one in.
And a substitution for Riverside into the game, number 15, Reggie Ward.
Hawkins gave him a nice 4 minutes during that stretch.
So the Huskies have entered the SoCal Regional as the number 3 seed. RCC the number 14 seed. Into state, the Huskies finished the season as the number 7 team. Langston good on both.
See how far out the offense is.
McLean to Ward. Ward trying to knife through, and another whistle. Wow, officials have definitely taken over.
Yeah, it's I just yell out to them, the whistles are working, guys. It's
Coach
kinda,
Bruce Turner style, right?
Yeah, it's been a little inconsistent, So the players got their palms up. They're not looking for rain. They're trying to figure out how the game is going to be called. Both teams in the double bonus.
1:20 remains. Ward, a second attempt, splashed home. 10-point ball game again. RCC will not let up. Lindsay orchestrating the offense. Lindsay back out to DC for 3. Too strong there. McLean rebound. Bringing it up is Hall. 58 seconds to go. 24-footer. No. Lindsay rebound. Huskies have numbers. Lindsay lobs it up to Langston. Slam dunk.
Beautiful play, just like they run it in practice. 3-on-2, lob over the top.
Deep 3, 26-footer this time. No good. Scott rebound. Huskies attacking. Scott knifing through. Gets it. 23 seconds to go, Coach.
So smooth, just under control. Realized he didn't have the fast break, so he went into his mode and just soiree down the lane.
As you said, Doncic style.
Oh, man, he's smooth.
6 seconds to go. 4 seconds to go. 2 seconds to go. Ward puts it up short. It's halftime.
And that brings us to the end of the first.
Great way to close it. They closed that with a 6-0 run after Riverside had kind of hung in the game, kind of uglied up the game, and they finished it with a 6-0 run.
Dan Gudino alongside the head coach of women's basketball here at East LA, Bruce Turner, coach. In the locker room, your Coach Mosley, the officials are calling it tight. What's the adjustment to that? Do you play less aggressive or?
Well, I think most of the fouls have come from them trying to actually steal the ball instead of being in their position. They're so used to to jump in that lane and stealing it. Just a little more patient. You know, it's the old phrase that, you know, Riverside's in the playoff too for a reason. So, you know, not that they don't respect him. It's just that you got to kind of gradually get into it. I think in the second half, he may kind of play a one-man zone, maybe leave JT in the middle and allow the other people to kind of go out. That's, you know, that's my opinion.
If you're Coach Philip Matthews of RCC, what's the adjustment there?
Well, he's been waiting. He's been yelling, spread the floor all night. And what he hasn't done, he doesn't want to drive from the top of the key. He wants to drive from the wing. So now the weak side help has to come all the way over. Then the kick out is a farther distance to go. He yelled every time they shot the ball from the top of the key. He said, swing the ball, swing the ball. So he wants the ball to go to the wing, then attack instead of attacking from the top.
So for East Los Angeles, it's been John Sanders. He leads the way with 14 points, 4 assists, and a steal. On the other side, off the bench, leading the way is Bryce Hall. He's got 8 points with 6 points apiece. Jalen Monroe and Reggie Ward. What stands out looking at this stat sheet for both sides?
You know, the stats itself don't stand out for Monroe, but the way he played, he actually calmed their team down. And Ward was very, very good on the offensive boards. But, you know, they showed a little resistance. The only play that the Huskies were able to really run with perfection was a little curl play to Sanders. And so they've made the Huskies work for everything that they've received, except for that last 6-minute run. They've done a good job. I think he would be happy had they not had the run, the last the 6-0 run at the end of the half.
We're at the break here. Huskies with a 14-point lead, 44-30 over the RCC Tigers. This is round 2 of the SoCal Regional. We'll step aside. We'll be back in about 12 minutes here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Okay, I got you.
Back inside the arena, the South Gym on the campus of East Los Angeles College. Thankful and grateful you could join us as the fans are getting back to their seats. Moments away from the start of the second half, Huskies with a formidable 14-point lead in this second round of the SoCal Regional Playoffs. Dan Gudino alongside ELAC legend women's head coach, Coach Bruce Turner.
Well, glad to be here. The first 3 or 4 minutes of this half are going to be very important to Riverside. Not so much scoring, it's just the way they can continue to make the Huskies work on defense. Because if it becomes a track meet, it's going to spell bad news for Riverside.
It'll be RCC basketball to start the second half. So we were just checking scores, and it looks like Mount San Jacinto has a 4-point lead over LA Harbor. They're about to start the second half in their game. Here, a 3-pointer to start this second half. Lyndon Paul from the corner. 11-point lead for East LA now. Langston left alone. He'll rise from about 18 feet. Too strong on that attempt. Rebound at DeJesse. Ooh, and we got Corey Cofield hobbling. Looks like a left leg injury. Demetrius Caleb will check in.
I hope that's not the knee. He hurt when he took that hard fall. I thought he fell on his hip, but he came out the second half with his knee wrapped, and he took that foul intentionally to get out of the game.
Let's hope for the best for last year's Player of the Year. This year, JT Langston took that crown. We got a whistle on the floor. And here the officiating crew playing it tight again in this half. 19:08 to go, second half. 44 for the Huskies, 33 for RCC. Long pass to Ward. Ward over to Adejesi. Driving left hand finish. So RCC with a strong start to the second half. 18:50 remains. Here's Scott carving through, gets it.
Wonderful move. European step. High finish off the glass with extra English. Oh man, beautiful job.
That's Ward swinging it right side to Mofat. Mofat puts it on the floor, driving left hand. So RCC coming out with a ton of energy. Looks like a different team than they were in the first half.
A little more patient on the first catch. In the first half, they were catching the ball, putting it on the floor right away. Now they're catching the ball and reading the play and then attacking. The Huskies been a little slow on the reaction. Coach Matthews thought he should have had a hand one. He was a little upset that Mofat missed the layup.
Ten-point ball game. As Cortland Mofat shoots 78% from the line. He's the second leading scorer for RCC this season, averaging 11 points per game. Sophomore guard, second free throw, good. So RCC back in it, still in the hunt. Tiger basketball not letting up. Here's Sanders. Back to DC for three. Does he get it? Too strong. 0 for 4 tonight from behind the arc for Demetrius Caleb.
He's been fading on his shot. He's not staying there and following through. Just at the end, he's walking away from it.
Here's Mofat again. And this is Paul. That one is pure.
Great start to the half of Riverside. Here they come again.
They got numbers. That's Jalen Monroe. Foul will be against Ty Hunt. Looks like Monroe is dealing with a cramp of some sort, I believe.
Grabbing at his knee area.
Maybe just Charlie, right?
Yeah, I think they bang knees on the contact on the foul. And he drove it extremely hard, and Hunt is like a brick wall. He had really good position, but I think he was inside the arc. Monroe ready now from the line.
Chance to cut it to 5 now. At the half, East LA was up 14.
This is the start that the Tigers wanted. And they came out really shooting the ball exceptionally well. I think they've only missed one shot in the second half. And they've attacked the rim with a lot of aggression. 14 fouls on the Husky already in the first 2.5, 2:15.
5-point ball game, RCC back in it. 17:40 to go. Will RCC rise to the occasion and come away with an upset? Langston. Terrell Hunt tried to clean it up with a tap. Fortunately for the Huskies, they will retain possession.
It's funny, they let them play in the lane, but all this hand fighting out front is being called.
Langston losing the dribble, recovering, poor entry pass to Scott. So slow start for East LA in the second half. RCC chopping wood here. Here's Mofat to Ward at the elbow. Ward attacks. 3-point game.
Strong power move. Jab step, took him right to the box and powered it up. Gave Hunt a little bit of his own medicine.
Here's Hunt trying to get his own. He'll rise and get it.
Nice answer by Hunt. Took his time. He loves that 15-footer at the elbow.
You could tell he wanted it because Ward beat him on the previous play.
Absolutely.
Ward hands it off to Mofat. Mofat spinning. Back outside, 3-point play. Oh, a foul against Sanders. That will be the 5th foul early on in this second half against the Huskies. That's the 3rd on Sanders. 16:25 to go.
Yeah.
Too much basketball left. And Huskies already facing some foul trouble.
You never like to foul a jump shooter, especially a guy shooting for 3. So Desi makes the first of 3. Ada Jesse.
That's what I've been calling him. I apologize to the family if we've been botching it.
I'm going to call him Tommy, his first name.
Sure. Tommy it is the rest of the way.
Gregory Melvin in number 5.
3-point game, trying to cut it to 2.
Two-point ball game, 16:20 left. Got a foul at the elbow. That'll be against the big man, Raymond Hawkins.
And what happens here when Mosley is brought to the referee's attention that 5 team fouls to 0, anything that the Huskies do going toward the rim, they'll be shooting. So they need to take advantage of this time and attack the basket.
Okay, look, fakes. He drives. Loses the basketball, still able to get it up. But he's off the mark. Hawkins rebound. Here's Mofat, defended by DC. Mofat to the far side to Tommy. Tommy, short. Rebound, Lindsay. Huskies attacking the other way. Scott from the baseline. No.
Rushed out a little bit, out of his character.
15 minutes, 40 seconds. 2-point ball game, a chance to take the lead or tie it here. Lyndon Paul guarded against Lindsay. He'll go around the screen, driving, kicking. Tommy, back to Ward. Ward trying to muscle it through. Oh, and it's last touch by Ward. What do we know? Turnover against RCC at the 15-19 mark.
Yeah, he went into a crowd there. I think he was looking for the foul. The referee decided rightfully not to bail him out and actually gave the ball to the Huskies.
High tension, Husky crowd really quiet now. You got the RCC faithful shouting from behind us, showing a lot more energy. Lindsay short on that 3 ball. Mofat will bring it up. Philip Matthews gives in the play. Is on the drive, loose ball, that's touched by RCC.
Huskies got to get back to their game, and they got to get Melvin touches and JT touches on the block.
You think a lot of it has to do with just being a little bit overconfident with a 14-point lead?
A little bit of that, and Riverside are in their rhythm. You know, they played Wednesday on their natural routine. Huskies took a day off.
DC 3-bomb, good. Coach Mosley will try to hold on to some of that momentum there as he calls timeout with 14:22 to go. 51 for the Huskies, RCC 46. We'll stay on the air here, so a good sign there. DC finally able to drain one now, 1 of 5 from behind the arc. Leads the SEC North in three-point shooting, finally getting one.
Just what we talked about, though. The ball went inside to the post. They sucked in. DC now followed through. He didn't have anybody in his face. All net. So the big guys are so good on the block. They're so good on the block that you have to respect it. And it's going to lead to wide open shots for the perimeter guys.
On the clock, 14:22 out of the timeout. It'll be RCC possession. Huskies applying a press now. Bringing it up is Mofat, being followed by Scott. Scott hands off to McLean. McLean angling. He's at the corner now. Good defense by the Huskies. 10 seconds on the ticker. Ward with the basketball. Ward loses it. A steal for East LA. Scott will drive. Muscles it up. Langston. A whistle is blown. A little bit of a balance now as far as the officiating crew goes. 5 fouls to 2 still, but a whistle against RCC.
Scott took his time going. I think he used every move in his bag of tricks. Got it on the board, and there's JT to clean it up for the free throw opportunity.
51-46, make it 52-46 as the SEC North Player of the Year drains the first one. That's Langston. Second one in and out, but Melvin there loses the dribble. Fast break. RCC in transition will now slow it down. They'll reset the offense here. 3-point bomb. McLean, too strong. Oh, we got a push off. No call there.
No call. Two-hand shove right in Langston's back. He hit the deck, but he's recovered.
Here's Tommy. He'll avoid the screen, and then we'll go right side to Paul. Mofat to Monroe, to the corner. Paul, no good. Langston of East LA with the board. 13 minutes left. Second round action of the SoCal Regional. Driving in is Lindsay. Lays it up, lays it in. Finally some energy from East LA. Oh, we got a foul against Demetrius Caleb. You got Coach Mosley here in disagreement. 12:48 to go. What do you think about that one, Coach?
That was a horrible call. I hate to
say it.
Johnetta Grant, who was here she was a C. She would turn to go the other way, which let the guy on the baseline know she had offensive foul. But he decided to go with the reach. That Caleb reached, but it was after the contact. Poor call.
Oh, got a near steal by Langston. Oh, last touch by RCC. It looked like it went off the foot of Langston. What do we know? 12:46 to go. It'll be Husky possession here.
2 makeup calls. Terrible call.
Sure, call it what it is. Here's Scott. Scott will rise. No good. Oh, Melvin coming from behind. Nearly gets the basket, ripping it off the hands of Ward. Loose ball. Recovered. Mofat on top to Monroe. Deep three by Tommy. High off the back iron. Rebound Scott of East Los. 12:15 remains. High energy ball game. Playoff intensity. Winner of this game moves on to play Mount San Jacinto or LA Harbor. There's a Scott spinning, driving. Left hand reverse by Scott.
Beautiful.
Coach Philip Matthews of RCC calls timeout. 11:54 to go. Huskies up 10 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Thankful and grateful you could join us for some playoff action inside the arena. The South Gym on the campus of East LA. Huskies at one point in the second half allowed RCC to chop wood. RCC at one point was down 2. Now Huskies up 10 with 11:56 to go. A seesaw match.
And you know, Melvin has brought in a great deal of energy as well as Lindsey. You know, Cofield went out with the leg injury, and Melvin came in and said, I'll take up the slack. He's been all over the board, and energy has been up ever since he re-entered the game.
That's what we talked about during the season, how deep the bench was of East LA. One guy goes out, next man up. Here with the basketball is McLean, guarded by Lindsey. Back on top to Monroe. Ooh, and a turnover against RCC. Just not able to handle it. 11:37 to go.
That was a great slip move, too. He faked the screen and slipped. Hit him in a bad place, right in his hands. He dropped it out of bounds, but great cut.
So we just checked the score for the Mount San Jacinto LA Harbor game. There must be a delay of some sort on the stats, but it's still listed as at halftime, 44-40.
Right.
DC from the corner inside to Langston. Langston gets a friendly roll on the right side. And we got a 12-point lead.
It's one of the easiest baskets he's had tonight. Beautiful pass. Melvin went across the lane, set a side screen for him. He came to the block. Just great execution. Now he's at the line to complete the end one.
Langston, no good on that one. Langston showing us why he was named Player of the Year. It's the 8th straight season that a Husky has been named Player of the Year in the SEC North. Impressive stuff by head coach John Mosley and East LA.
Absolutely.
Here's Alvarez, driving baseline, reverse layup is good.
It's almost as if they forgot about him.
10:50 remains. Here's Lindsey orchestrating the offense. Swings it right side to Scott. Scott will attack. Whistle on the floor before the shot went up. Coach Mosley looks livid, barking at his own players. Probably wanted something different out of his Huskies there.
Yeah, he's looking for a little back cut there. I think he wants to score a little bit more off the pass than the dribble.
That was the 14th foul against RCC. There's Langston at the baseline. Skips it far side to Melvin. Melvin from the elbow, too strong. Ward rebound. Ward to the far side to Monroe. .10:20 left. Oh, we got an offensive foul, I believe, against RCC. So Monroe was charged there. Philip Matthews trying to get an explanation right in front of us. So we're now at 6-5 fouls. Way balanced now.
Call a dribble, a foul on the ball handler.
When does that happen, Ron?
I rarely see that happen. Because he was still in control of the ball.
There's Lindsey, angling in, throws it up. He'll go to the stripe.
Well, that was a real strong move by Lindsey. Came in his left hand, he got bumped twice, went up, took the bump in the air, still got the shot off.
I feel the key players in this one with Cofield out. Cofield's such a high motor, such an offensive rebounder. Caleb, Lindsey, and Melvin will have to step up.
Absolutely. And then old steady Scott has been doing a great job. But those guys have come off the bench with a lot of energy.
Scott will step off as John Sanders will step on.
Yeah.
Sanders battling with 3 fouls right now.
That's too bad because he was had a heck of a first half.
Led the way with 14 points.
Yes.
Still standing at 14 points. Here's Tommy. Oh, good strip by Melvin. Melvin over to Sanders. Too easy. Sanders now with 16 points, making it a 62-48 ball game. 9:45 to go. What a swing of momentum it's been. At one point, RCC was down 2 points in this second half. Here's DC. Slowing it down.
Oh.
Skips it far side. Sanders has the height to get it. Sanders on the baseline. Back out to Langston. Langston will rise. Too short on that attempt.
He's been a little hesitant today. He's kind of been in between shots.
Alvarez will drive. Throws it up. Nearly throws it away. Here's Ward faking left, driving. Left-hand layup. Good.
Ward did a little dance before he scored that one, but the referees didn't mind.
62-50. Huskies with the lead. Here's Lindsay on a drive. Yes! Count it.
Little dribble handoff between the 2 point guards. Sanders going left it for Lindsay. He turned the corner, put on the Jets, hung in the air, took the hit. Beautiful play. That's been their best play tonight. It's just a testament to the guys, because normally we see the post kind of dominating the offense. But tonight, the guards have really stepped up.
East LA isn't really known for their size. Known for their athleticism and strength.
Strength, yes.
Loose ball. Who touched it last? East LA did. Possession RCC. Clock reads 8:38. Ticker 16 seconds.
And what goes unnoticed is how many times they make you change your shot. You know, you may execute your play, but you may not finish it, and that's very frustrating.
Offense. Looking. Gets it to Ward. No call there. The drive. No. Oh, and a whistle. And we're now at 7 fouls apiece. Hold on. Got an official's huddle. What's going on? Not sure what the call is here.
Well, they call a foul on JT on the shot block, and now somebody's been assessed a technical foul. I think it's JT. Ward had the ball out top, bobbled it, and caught it before it hit the ground. You can bobble the ball and let it hit the ground and pick it up, but you can't throw it to yourself in the air. That's travel. So that's why Coach Mosley's upset. Then he drove the ball to the lane. He wiped Langston out. He made a good block. Referee called a foul. And on top of that, he's been assessed a technical foul.
That's why we have the basketball mind of Coach Bruce Turner here, because I wouldn't have seen that. Never caught it.
And so that's 2 fouls on one play when you think you had a missed call, you know. So that's the frustrating part about that.
First one good by Tommy. Tommy 2 of 2 on the technical fouls. Mofat will now take his 2. Actually, the 1 and 1, or is it 2? Head official calls 2. So it happened on the drive.
He was on the act of shooting. And the other part that was frustrating, it was a late call, you know.
Second attempt, in and out, Melvin board. 8:20 remains. There's Donjay. So we got an update in the game between LA Harbor and Mount San Jacinto. LA Harbor 73, Mount San Jacinto 68. That one's a tight. Langston throws it up, no good. Whistle is blown at the 8:05 mark. That's RCC's 8th foul.
Riverside, number 11, Lyndon Call. His 3rd personal foul. Langston at the line for the Huskies, shooting 2. Substitution for the Huskies into the game, number 2, Noel Scott.
A lot of talking among the referees about the players talking. They've been warned earlier in the game, but still no real action. Langston for this is another free throw. You know, Coach Mosley will have something special for him tomorrow.
Left side, Lyndon Paul.
There's that little slip cut on the wing forward. Scored again. Huskies got to restore order. 10-point lead.
Huskies trying to advance to the SoCal Regional Final as Gregory Melvin's good on the runner. Flips it up with the right hand. 7:25 to go. Here's steal by Langston. Mofat on top to Paul. Paul will drive. Paul fakes, spins, stops. He finds McLean. McLean will rise, airballs it straight into the hands of Sanders, who tips it over to Melvin. Scott will bring it up with 7 minutes to go in the second half. We've got another update from another SEC North team. PCC currently beating San Diego Miramar 54-45.
Beautiful patience there by Scott in the post. He turned, looked at it, didn't have it, stepped through. A little shovel pass to Langston, who's fouled on a dunk attempt.
So after tonight, the madness will start in March. And it'll be clutch time. Langston, good on that one.
Substitution for Riverside into the game, number 1, Gudino Alvarez.
6:49 to go, 68-55. Crowd getting rowdy now. As JT Langston makes it a 69-55 ball game.
The Huskies done a great job. You know, they started out the first 5 minutes with 5 team fouls, and over those last 11 minutes have only fouled 3 times.
There's Melvin with Sanders riding shotgun. Melvin will take it coast to coast. Huskies pulling away now. Do the Tigers have any life left? Do they have a few more runs left in them? Here's Ward. Attacks. Lays it up. He's fouled. Drops Melvin on his bottom with 6:12 to go.
That was a great drive by Ward, but it almost, he was able to get down the lane because Langston went for the steal, and the weak side was a little too late. Huskies have been playing great defense, but this is the most gambling I've seen them go through throughout the season, and they've created a little offense for Riverside.
Substitution for Riverside into the game, number 0, Jalen Monroe, and number 2, Darius McLean.
Coach Matthews gone to a small lineup, but might look for a little pressure here.
Maybe something outside the perimeter too.
Yeah, full court press here. Now they back off and go man to man.
Here's Scott. Finding a crease, too strong. Oh, whistle is blown late on that one. Jalen Monroe can't believe the call.
Late call, but he did slide over with the shoulder, kind of caught him on the thigh as he tried to finish. I think he was going to allow the basket to count if it had gone. But once he missed the basket, he called the foul.
Huskies now in the double bonus.
It's 5 on Monroe.
His season might be over early.
Scott at the line for the Huskies, shooting 2.
RCC came into the SoCal Regional as the 14th seed.
Number 24, Tyrell Hunt.
So if they were definitely going to win this one, it would have been dubbed a upset.
Big time.
Called them Cinderella.
Just the makeup of the team. I don't know how many sophomores they have, but if they're able to bring their guards back, they're going to be very good next year as well.
Here's Lyndon Paul handing it off to McLean, guarded by Sanders.
It's because everything they do is perimeter, and it's great when it goes, but when the shots are not dropping, it's tough to score.
Too strong. Ward cleans it up with the left hand.
Great tip, followed by Ward.
5:30 to go. 73-59 Huskies. Here's Sanders leaning over. He'll rise. From 17 feet out. Goes behind the back. Steps to his right and splashes it. 5:10 to go.
You know, not only is he scoring the ball, everything tonight he shot has been all net. I mean, straight
Good point,
through.
yeah.
Straight through. He must have had a great shoot around or whatever pregame meal he had today. Better have next Saturday.
Riverside shooting 2.
Score between LA Harbor and Mount San Jacinto reads 73-68. Doesn't read a final yet.
They've been real slow on the updates.
The PCC San Diego Miramar game is now officially over. DC saves it straight into the hands of RCC. Extra possession for the Tigers here with 5 minutes to go. 75-61 ball game. Three-pointer rattled home. A sign of life for RCC, down 9 with 4:40 to go. Plenty of time. Huskies playing that spread offense, trying to milk the clock here. Huskies trying to run away into the third round of the SoCal Regional. Here's Langston.
Gotta go.
To the corner. Scott. No good. Shot clock violation. So no time to relax still.
Yeah, they're having trouble feeding the post. You know, they normally are able to hit the little high post bounce pass, but I haven't seen it all night. It's one of their staples in their offense.
There's Mofat. He'll bring it up. Swings it to Alvarez. Alvarez pushes it left side. That's Lyndon Paul. Left alone is Alvarez.
That was a beautiful execution there. Made a little flex cut underneath. Mosley's going to take a little bit of the air out of the ball. I think they waited last time until 14 to start the offense. This time they started at 20.
10 seconds on the ticker. 3:35 to go, game clock. Scott through the traffic. Jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of the Huskies.
Possession arrow in favor of the Huskies.
Only 7 left on the shot clock.
Expect something for Langston here. They go to Sanders. Sanders will have to hurry with 5 to go. He'll rise and splashes it.
On fire. Nothing but string music for Mr. Sanders tonight.
I don't think anything's touched the rim at all or the backboard.
Hey, as my old high school coach used to say, that orange thing there is just to hold the net. Don't hit that.
John Sanders and the Huskies 78-66. 3:28 to go. Let's stay on the air here. Coach Mosley trying to strangle RCC and hold on to that momentum.
He's done. He's gotten a lot out of the substitutes, as Sanders has been the leader with 21 points. And many of the shots, just like that last bucket, has come at the end of the shot clock where he had to bail them out. His last 3 buckets have come toward under 5 seconds on the shot clock.
So the only blemish on the John Sander line is at the free throw line. He's 4 of 6 there, 3 of 3 from three-point land, 7 of 7 from the field. Impressive stuff from John Sanders, the Coastal Carolina University commit.
In only 24 minutes. So, just a beautiful line. Contributions all throughout the line, though. Lindsay has come in. Lindsay and Melvin, to me, also have done a great job.
I feel like the foul trouble kept them hungry in this one.
Yeah.
3:20 to go. 78-66, Husky lead. Oh, muscling through is Lyndon Paul. Through Sanders. That'll be Sanders' 4th foul. RCC will be in the double bonus from here on out as Terrell Hunt will sit out. Don J. Lindsay will come in.
So to me, to have that, I think to pressure him so high up gives him that extra space to drive the lane. And we're not recovering tonight. Riverside is playing hungry, though. I love the fight that they're giving. DC all the way, lay it up and in.
Offhand, the lefty finishing with the right. Under 3 minutes to go. Alvarez attacking. Huskies all over him.
Coach Matthews up out of his seat. Thought he was fouled by 2 Huskies as Alvarez missed the backdoor opportunity.
Here's Scott once again floating it up. Too strong.
Man, he took quite a bit of contact midway the lane, but he shed it and threw a nice teardrop up, but it didn't fall for him.
Alvarez kicking out to Ward. Ward on the baseline.
Ward has a little bit of an Al Horford look to him. He's strong, does a lot of good things for him.
Two minutes left now. Huskies trying to move on to round 3, the SoCal Regional Final.
Back to Mr. Splash tonight, Sanders.
Oh, he's feeling it.
He hits another one.
Perfect from behind the arc, perfect from the floor. Sanders streaky.
Oh, man. This is the best I've ever seen him shoot, and he's so under control. I mean, no wasted motion. Not worried about the time.
Lyndon Paul for Riverside 2.
10-point lead, 1:20 to go. Scott with the basketball.
Oh. Riverside decides to play the foul game. And they foul Scott near half court.
His first personal foul.
Pending a miracle, Huskies will advance to the Sweet 16, technically.
At the line for the Huskies.
Yeah, this one's over, sir. You can put it in the win column.
So it looks like they will be taking on LA Harbor, although it's not official. It doesn't read a final yet.
77-72 with 3 minutes left. Harbor College leading.
Caleb throwing it up.
Offensive rebounds. It's almost like a play call for the Huskies. They believe in going to the offensive boards, whether it's a free throw or regular offense.
1:09 left.
Caleb at the line for the Huskies, shooting 2.
Caleb made the all-conference team in the SEC North. Well deserved.
Yeah.
A human highlight reel he is.
His activity is just contagious, you know. The big three that he had was right in the middle of the run. You know.
60 ticks to go. Alvarez to Mofat to Ward. Ward still fighting.
Reggie Ward for Riverside 2.
Ball goes out of bounds. Ward nearly came away with the pick.
Looked like he could play tight end.
Yeah, I could.
Man, that was a beautiful catch.
He's got the size.
Yeah.
Husky basketball.
Caleb was going up too, but he shed Caleb and went and got the long, ill-advised pass.
Langston triggers. Still looking.
Get it in.
We got a foul against Andre Bowsley. 52.9 to go. 10-point lead for East Los.
Very tough call.
Langston for the Huskies
was about to have a 5-second call, but Riverside is charged with a foul before the ball came in. So Mott Mosley, Scott at the line for 2. That would have been a big turnover because they would have had the chance to cut it to 7.
12-point lead for East LA with 52.9 seconds to go as we take a look at East Los Angeles College through the playoffs all time. The last time they entered the state tournament, we go back to the 2019-2020 season where their chance to play in the state tournament got canceled because of COVID. Before that, it was the 2016-17 season. They entered the state quarterfinals. They lost to Feather River. And then we go back to the 2014-15 season where they actually played in the state final and lost to Saddleback in a hard-fought match, 50-47. All-time, Coach Mosley and the Huskies are 13-8 in the playoffs. 62% only. But in the regular season, as we mentioned earlier, 85%. 87% winning percentage here at home. That'll increase with this win here this evening.
Hey, those numbers a lot of coaches will die for. Some guys haven't even had 13 playoff games. So, you know, he has a great system, and as it's proved out throughout the years to be successful, I think this is the year that get over the hump and get the crown.
45 seconds to go. Spinning through, kicking out. That's Alvarez for 3. Langston fighting for it. Falls into the lap of Mofat. And Mofat gets an easy 2.
The Harbor Mount San Jacinto game has gone final. Harbor College 86, Mount San Jacinto 77.
Coach Mosley was looking for a travel call. Not the case. We'll stay on the air. All time against RCC. ELAC will possibly move to 5-2 all time. Last time they lost to RCC last year. So.
Well, you know, Coach Matthews is a great all-time junior college coach.
Yes, he is. State champion.
State champion, I think twice at Ventura College.
That's right.
Had the great Cedric Ceballos play for him. So many pros. And then he went on to UC, University of San Francisco, made a NCAA appearance. Then was on the bench at UCLA when they made a couple of runs. So he's a JC treasure, and loves to play pressure defense.
Here they'll be applying the pressure on the Huskies with 39 seconds to go. Instant foul. Dondre Bowsley fouling John Sanders. Sanders will pad his stats at the line with 39 seconds to go.
Hey, this is what the real scorers do. You know, when they know they're going to be fouled, they always get open. Which is smart, though. He's been clutch all year.
For the Huskies, shooting 2.
And you want your point guard has to be one of those guys that's going to knock down free throws because they have the ball so much at the end of the game. Knocks it home.
11-point lead now for the Huskies. Make it 12. 39 ticks to go. JT Langston will intercept it, and a foul. Ward will foul Scott.
Riverside number 15, Reggie Ward.
So RCC just trying to extend the season for all it's worth, trying to milk it on the floor.
Langston looked like a wide receiver there.
Scott at the line for the Huskies. Shooting
Coach
2.
Matthews just told him don't foul anymore.
Waving the white flag. So we have an official final. LA Harbor beats Mount San Jacinto. So the regular season rematch will happen in the SoCal Regional Final. So it'll be still RCC basketball here with 20.1 to go. Ward trying to do it himself. Loose ball, Langston ahead to Caleb. Watch out. Cradle the baby. Smashing it down.
And he got congratulations, not from the bench, but everyone's the standing room only crowd against the wall. It's going to be an and one. I don't know how to describe it. It was kind of a LeBron James reverse.
He cradled it.
Cradle. Scissor kick. Slam dunk. Just what the fans came to see. And one. Makes the free throw.
Coach Mosley still coaching. Alvarez from the elbow. That'll do it. The Huskies, for the second year in a row, advance to the Sweet 16. They move on to the SoCal Regional Final.
Yeah.
This one a final. 94-77 over the RCC Tigers. RCC, their season is over. They finished with a 17-15 record.
Outstanding, outstanding. And Riverside put up a great fight. Early in that third quarter, they let you know what they were made of. It came back and closed the game within 2. But when it came down to its depth, and the Huskies just kept coming. They couldn't sustain that level of play. It just shows you how strong the ELAC Huskies are. Congratulations, Coach Mosley and staff. Great job.
So the Huskies will move on to play L.A. Harbor. Earlier in the season, the Huskies went down to L.A. Harbor. So revenge on the mind of the Huskies. Only difference is next game, next Saturday, March the 4th, will be here inside E-Arena, where the Huskies are undefeated. Huskies move to 25-3 and now on a 10-game win streak.
Yeah, and I think both teams will be at full strength, which will be exactly what you want. You know, you don't want the last game. JT had his shoulder strain, and I think Scott was out also with his leg. So this will be for the regional final. Both teams at full strength.
Pending Corey Cofield, though.
Right.
So we'll see if they are truly at full strength. So as we take a look at the stats, player of the game, John Sanders. Sanders, 8 of 8 from the field, 4 of 4 from behind the arc. His only 2 blemishes were at the stripe. 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 5 assists, a steal, 26 points.
Yeah.
Right behind him, Noel Scott. Smooth on the drive. He was 5 of 11, 1 of 2 from behind the arc. He was 7 of 10 at the line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal. Coming off the bench, Caleb, 13 points. He was 4 of 12, 1 of 6 from three-point land. He kept shooting them.
And don't forget the crowd-pleasing dunk at the end.
Yeah, cradle the baby, reverse jam, scissor kick, all
man.
roll into one.
All into one. He gave us a show. But, you know, the other guy I really like to highlight is Melvin.
Sure.
11 points, 5 steals, you know, only 3 rebounds, but he keeps so many balls alive, you know, and his activity is just, you know, Cofield and Caleb, man, I wouldn't want to play against those guys.
A valiant effort on the other side by Lyndon Paul, 20 points. He was 7 of 9, 2 of 4 from behind the arc. He had 2 boards and assists. And also Reggie Ward, who played his heart out till the end, 18 points, 7 of 11 from the floor. He had 9 boards, an assist, and a block. This one a final.
And the great job of keeping Mofat well below his season average.
Sure.
I mean, you know, they allowed some drives that we normally don't see against, you know, the Husky defense, but that 3-point shot was null and void.
This one a final. Huskies move on to the Sweet 16. Round 3 of the SoCal Regional for a chance to enter the Elite 8, the state championship tournament, which will take place at Lemoore, California, West Hills College. That will start March the 9th. They'll take a break on Friday and finish Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and the 12th. Will the Huskies advance? We'll have it all here on SportsNetUSA.net. For Coach Bruce Turner, for Rashawn Haylock, our executive producer, for Albert Robles, Noah Alvarez, and President Ed Ford, good night, everybody.
Good night.